finally have official confirmation as to who's going to be playing Beep the Meep in the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. But are we really surprised? Okay, so for those who are unaware, it has recently been announced that Miriam Margolyes will be playing Beep the Meep in the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. And honestly, it seems like this reveal has honestly been quite a long time coming. She's been speculated to be in the 60th for a while now, and people already thought that she was probably going to be playing Beep the Meep. I even made a video about this 9 months ago, speculating that she'd be playing this exact character. And even in the trailer shots that we have of Beep the Meep, where you can hear him talking, it sounded a lot like her voice anyway. So I'm honestly surprised that it took this long to be announced. But with that being said, it seems like this wasn't even meant to be announced now, as the main reason this information came about is that Miriam mentioned it in her new book, Oh Miriam, where she says, "Of course, I wasn't in Doctor Who then, but I am now. Just wait till you see the Meep." And it seems like she must have not ran this by the BBC or asked if she was allowed to talk about it in her book, because obviously it hadn't already been announced, and it seems like the BBC might have scrambled to announce that she's playing this character after she leaked it in her new book. But honestly, like I said, we kind of already knew this anyway, or speculated that this was going to be the case anyway, so it doesn't really matter, and I'm honestly surprised it hadn't already been announced. So the official announcement tweet reads, "Meep Meep, Miriam Margolyes joins the cast of the Doctor Who 60th anniversary specials as the voice of the Meep. On joining Doctor Who, Miriam Margolyes says, 'I'm relieved I got to work on Doctor Who before I died. With sci-fi you never know. Thank you for making an old woman very happy.'" And the official article reads, "The BAFTA-winning star of stage and screen lends her voice to an iconic character in the upcoming 60th anniversary specials. Award-winning actress Miriam Margolyes joins Doctor Who for the 60th anniversary specials that will air this November. Miriam is the voice behind the Meep, the iconic creature adapted from the Star Beast comic strip." Now, interestingly, it does only refer to her as voicing the Meep and not Beep the Meep. So either, for some reason, Beep the Meep isn't going to be called Beep the Meep in this, or what I think is more likely is that we might see more than just Beep. We might see other Meeps, possibly just in like a flashback or at the end, and she'll be voicing all of them instead of just one. Or maybe it's just to keep that name as a bit of a surprise for people who don't know the original comic book story. Now, we've also got another brand new look at Beep the Meep in some images from Entertainment Weekly, as well as a new look at Neil Patrick Harris, who is speculated to be playing the Celestial Toymaker. We also have a new image of the 14th Doctor and Donna, with what seems to be the background removed, or at least that's what I think's been done here, as they previously did that with an image with Shooty in the 60th, unless this is meant to be them in some sort of void or something, but I doubt that's the case. And we also have an image of 14 and the TARDIS, which seems like it might be in the same location as the clips we've seen from Wild Blue Yonder in the teasers. And as you can see, the TARDIS looks like it's kind of in some trouble, possibly about to explode, or it looks quite damaged at the very least, which I think could relate to that one shot we saw in the Ident teaser trailer that looks like 14 and Donna in this same location, witnessing some sort of explosion, which could be the TARDIS exploding, although I'm not necessarily sure why that might happen. I would say maybe this is how we get the new TARDIS interior, because obviously we know 14 and 15 are keeping the same exterior at the very least, but I don't know how likely that is either, because we already know that Jodie Whittaker's TARDIS interior was already dismantled a while ago before filming on this even began, unless we just don't see any TARDIS interior at all for the whole of the first special, and it's just implied that they still have Jodie's interior, and then we see the new TARDIS interior at the end of episode 2 after it's exploded and rebuilt itself, or something like that. But let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. And we also have some new images with the return of WhoSpy, which is kind of like a behind the scenes sort of thing that they're doing on Twitter or X at the moment, where they're just showing a few behind the scenes images to kind of give us a few little details. One of them seems to be the Noble household. There's not really much going on there, but the other one looks like some sort of workshop, which I think I've seen some people speculating this could be the Toymaker's workshop, which I think is absolutely a possibility, but I personally think this is more likely to be John Logie Baird's workshop. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, basically John Logie Baird is a character who's speculated to be in the last episode of the 60th anniversary specials, The Giggle. He was a real life person who helped with inventing broadcast television, and if you want to know more about what he has to do with the 60th anniversary specials, I've covered it in this video here, so I'm not going to go too much into detail in this video. But with that being said, let me know what you think. Are you happy we finally have confirmation that Miriam Margolyes is playing Beep the Meep? And let me know what you think about these new images that we've seen as well. Next week's video should be out now on my Patreon page. If you want to watch that, I'll have that linked below. It's my first review of classic Doctor Who, where I review Genesis of the Daleks, makes the highest rated classic Doctor Who story, which is something that I've started doing exclusively on my Patreon page. This one is just an edited down version of that first review, so classic reviews aren't going to be a thing on the main channel, but it is something that I'm doing on the Patreon, and this is just that edited down version of the first one, which should hopefully be out next week. But like I said, it is out now on the Patreon, as well as the full 15-minute long review, and any future Classic Who reviews will be on there as well, so if you want to check that out, I'll have that linked below. But if not, I'll have a video on screen for you now that YouTube thinks you might like, so feel free to click on that.